Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. My name is Lytle, and I'll be hosting Mortgage Coaches Training Thursday. So today, what we're going to focus on is building a report of a counteroffer analysis. This is good to be able to reach out to a borrower, to be able to explain the differences in providing offers. So, excuse me. We'll talk about the initial offer the borrower presents, the counter offer from the seller, another home that the borrower wanted to look at because he didn't want to take the counter offer, and our fourth one is, well, while you're waiting to make this decision, the loan amount went up as well as the rate. So this is a good counterpoint, so when you get a borrower and they do have a counter offer, to really explain what might happen in the long run, or if they decide to go and purchase another home. And it's also a great way to reach out to your partners. So we'll be covering a lot of information today. We'll be able to discuss how you'll be able to use this report to gain new business by reaching out to your partner. So with that, what I want to do is I'm only asking a couple poll questions, 2 poll questions. So Marcy, if we could go ahead and launch those poll questions so we could dive in to create this report. So I want to know how where you are at in EDGE. So how many of you have created at least 5 TCAs? So if you can answer this poll question. Okay, I was told my voice is broken a bit. Does anyone else have an issue with the clarity of the audio? Let me know. Okay. Paul says no, so I have a feeling, Mark, you have an issue. No. I do know I was on a call earlier and someone did have same kind of broken bit. They had to call back in, so maybe that might be it, Mark. So we're at 50% of the polling, so let's go ahead and respond to the poll. That's good. I've got a couple more saying it sounds good. Also, while we're doing this in the next poll question, let me know where you're from. Open up that chat or the question area. That's how we'll communicate. I'll be able to see your questions. Let me know what area you're from, also what company you're from. It gives me an idea what enterprise account, if you are on one, and I can give you some information behind that. So in the question area, go ahead and put your name, city, state, and your company that you're with. So let's go ahead and close out this poll. We only had 56% voted, and at this point in time with that, we have 73% saying no, that they haven't created 5. So with that, get in there and create 5 TCAs. And the reason why I'm saying that is once you've created those 5 TCAs, you're going to get easier working with EDGE. It's just going to get smoother and smoother. And a great way of doing that is just a couple loans that you've closed. Put them in the system and just walk through it. So let's launch that next poll question. And this will be our last poll question, and we'll start in. How much is your percentages coming from realtors? Because this would be a good report to be able to present to them. So it's great. Okay, we've got a Skyline. Hi, Lena from Beaverton, Oregon. We have Paul, Prime Lending, Manhattan, Kansas. Cool. Fairway, hey, Toy, I think you're on last week. Wallach and Volk, Santa Maria. I'm heading up there this weekend. Mortgage Network, how's it going? And then we also have Finance of America. Welcome. I know that's a good new group. So good. I'm glad you're all here. I'll also address with some of those enterprise accounts some of the updates that we may be having for you. So with that, right now I have 60% or more business with partners. Oh, bank on loan. Oh, great. I'm glad you're here, Lynn. Great to see you. Okay, Marcy, let's go ahead and close out this poll question. So just to be able to show you, a lot of you have a lot of your business is generated from realtors. So this is a good presentation to be able to reach out with them and gain new business. So let's close it out. And what I would like you to do is follow along with me and build this report with me in EDGE. So let me go ahead and turn off my reflector. I'm going to turn off my iPad for now. And let's dive into EDGE. So I also wanted to point out in the chat area, or there's a handout area. There's quite a bit of handouts. We even have our monthly calendar of events for the month of August in there. So during the call, please reach in there and grab those handouts. Now that we've logged into Edge, since there were so many that have not created at least 5 reports, I'm going to give a little bit more background in Edge to make this easier for you. I know with Prime Lending, Skyline, even Workers Network, you have your custom API. Even Bank Home Loan, you have it as well. There's APIs that are built either Optimal Blue or internal. So if you do have an API, you'll be able to take that data from Optimal Blue is a big one, bring it down to Edge, and then just be able to start your report off. What we're going to do is start the report from scratch, so we're going to click on New Client. So if everyone has logged into their Edge account at edge.mortgagecoach.com, just click on New Client, and we'll start creating this program or presentation. So with that, on the presentation for the title, I'm just going to call this Counteroffer Analysis, and you can too, and this will be a good marketing piece that you can always have. At the end of the call, I'm going to show you how to put the video on it that you would be able to use this and then forward it to realtors. So let's just go ahead and type in Counter Offer Analysis, and I'm pointing out individual versus marketing. If I click marketing, it just removes that second borrower's information. Just pointing out, we're keeping it on own. If you mark rent for those people who are renting, this provides a different style report. This is our rent versus own versus the TCA. So I'm keeping on the TCA. And friendly name field, I'm just putting, this is some reference. So if you have using this for a particular realtor, you could put their realtor's name in here so you know what that report's for. This case, I'm just putting in the word marketing. It's going to be my marketing report. Let's move on to our next screen, and we're just going to market purchase. That provides us our purchase screens. And let's start out with this. The purchase price that we're going to use is $275,000. So go ahead and place that dollar amount in here. And then we're going to jump to the products. So with that, the next 2 screens in affordability, you can fill this information out, but I want to show you the quickest and fastest way to get in and out of Edge. So as we pass these screens, this is information. If you filled it out, you can get debt to income ratios. You can work in the analysis screen with that savings balance. But for now, I'm going to leave it empty. And also, if you put a tax bracket in here, it would have provided that tax benefit. So I'm leaving that off for now and just working on products. So now that we're on our first product here, let's go back to the report to see what we're going to create. So we're going to create the initial offer. So to be able to understand a little bit more about the report, this is the loan amount here. But just to show you, if you go into the More Info button, you could get more details. So to show you to start getting familiar with this, the TCA, let's click on the More Info button. And with that, you can see the price value. So this is the sales price that we're using for each of these comparisons. So I'm going to start out with $275. They're countering with $290. The borrower is going to go out and look for a new home with the same price as the initial offer. And if he waited, the home prices might go up. So this is where you can see that price value. So I'm closing the report, and you'll notice in the lower right-hand corner there's a share button. What I'm doing is taking that link and I'm copying it. This is the link you provide your borrower, and I'm placing it in the chat area. So as I come back and forth referring to this report, you can have it up and also refer to it and also experience Edge Live as I start touching the report. So it is in there if you want to be able to click on this particular report as we're following along. So let's go ahead and build out our initial offer, starting at $275 with a 4% interest rate. So let's go ahead and put in a title of Initial Offer. Remember on your titles, keep it to 12 characters. So now let's go ahead and put in that sales amount, $275,000. Let's go ahead and put in 10% down. And we have a 4% interest rate and a term of 360. So this is the basic information that we go ahead and carry. If you were working with an API, most likely this full screen will be completed for you. You would just need to modify your title and then advance to your fee screen. So now that we're in our fee area, let's put in prepaid interest days. I want to estimate 15 days. So once I put that in there, you can see how you hover your mouse over it and you have that dollar amount. So now let's go work on fees. So let's go to our closing cost details. If you're on an enterprise account, you might already have fee templates built in. You could select it down by state to narrow down that list. And then you have all your fee templates over toward the right. So with that, I could go ahead and grab a fee template and it will populate down. If you need help building out fee templates on the enterprise account, just email us at support@mortgagecoach.com. We'll be able to assist you in developing fee templates for the branch. We do have a video tutorial that just will walk you through how to create these fee templates. If you want more information on how to create it, maybe at the end of the call, I can review this a little bit more. If so, just go ahead and place it in the chat area if you want me to go over that. Okay, Andrea is asking about the handouts. In GoToMeeting, there should be, besides the question area, there's also one labeled handouts. It will say 2 of 5, something like that. If you open up that area, you'll be able to see the PDFs there. So you should be able to have it there. Okay. So once you have pulled down your fee template, made any particular modifications, in this case, I need to add my lender's title as well as owner's title. Once you have done that, you just apply to the loan, and you'll see how it takes all those closing costs and totals all the APR and non-APR fees. We have a prepaid escrow field. This will fill out as soon as we go into our monthly costs. So let's advance to our screen, and let's open up our percentages right here. What we want to do is enter our monthly estimate for our monthly hazard amount. So I'm using 0.35, and for my taxes, I'm using 0.125. Let's go ahead and add mortgage insurance. And I also want to put in my escrow. So I'm putting 2 months reserves, 4 months taxes, and 12 months premium. Yes, Lynn, we do have an Encompass API. If you contact us at support, we can let you know if your company is using that, and we'll just be able to provide instructions. If you have Encompass, it will carry over one product, but at least from there you could build. So we do have that, Lynn. So now that we're done with our initial offer, you'll notice in the upper right-hand corner our graphs are being built. So now let's create our second product, which is the counter product. So with that, see at the very base, you have the green button, add another product. This starts that second product off, and let's move to our report real quick. So we just built our initial offer, and now what we want to do is go ahead and work on the counter offer now. So with that, if you recall, if we go into the more info, the loan amount, the counter offer that they had was they did not accept $275, but they're willing to accept $290. So let's go build our product based on $290 using that same 4% rate. So let's type in a title of counter offer. And let's go ahead, and I want to show you, I was going to work this the long way, but I'm going to show you how to really dive in and make these quick. So the copy from button, if you have not used this copy from button, it does help you reproduce a previous product. So if we click on that, you'll see all the products you have will be listed, and you can copy that product to a new product. So if I go ahead and choose initial offer, I press OK, and now you'll see that I have that same loan amount, 10%, 4% rate. But with our counter offer, our loan amount is higher. So what we need to do is make the modification to your purchase price, and I'm going to put in $290. And you'll see with the 10% down, this we went ahead and recalculated the down payment as well as that base loan amount. So now this will be showing the difference at that higher loan amount. So you'll see as I advance my screen to the right, the closing costs, we're going to have in the upper right-hand corner our second graph. So now you can start seeing the comparisons while you're in Edge. So now with this, we modified the loan amount. Our fees are going to stay the same, as well as our monthly costs. So now that we have the two products, let's go back to the report. We've just finished creating that counter offer. But now the borrower doesn't want to accept this counteroffer. He doesn't quite understand the negotiation process. He wants to go out and say, no, I want that same loan amount at $275 and I want to buy a house based on that. Fine. You could show him that you could do it, but by the time you're looking for a new home at that same price, your interest rate may go up. So you can see on the report, it's the same loan amount, different interest rates. So let's go ahead and create that alternate offer now as our third product. So let's go back to Edge. I'm clicking on Add Another Product. And let's go ahead and put in that alternate offer, meaning a new house. So let's copy from. We have both products now, but this is the exact same as that initial offer, but with a higher interest rate. So I'm going to choose the initial offer as my copy, and I'm going to press OK. So we have that same loan amount that he's going to go find another home with that same loan amount that he could place an offer on. And instead of 4%, it's taken a month, a couple months, rates could have increased. And that's what you want to show them. This is fine and you can look for another home, but I want to make you aware and educate you in the power of the interest rate. So with that, I've increased that, bumped it to 4.25, and I'm advancing the screen. And because I did that copy, I don't have to do anything with my fees again. And again, with those people who are with APIs, you can always bring one product, say from Optimal Blue down, and you can see how easy it is to create product 2, 3, and 4. Moving on to the next screen, have my monthly costs, and I'm set. So we have product 3. You can see it in the upper right-hand corner now. And let's go ahead and go back to our report again. So we just finished creating that alternate offer. So now what we want to do is also show them during this time we just showed you the same loan amount as your initial offer or same sales price and the interest rate increase. But what happens if that interest rate as well as that sales price increases during that time? So this is what you're also helping to educate them on. So let's go ahead and build that weight. With the higher loan amount, we're going to use 300,000, and just to show you, it's a 300,000 loan amount, and we're going to use 4.25. So let's go back to Edge, add another product, and let's go ahead and just call this weight. So we're going to copy from. You could take your pick, doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and choose counter offer. I'm going to press OK. I still have to change my loan amount and the interest rate. So let's go ahead and increase this to 300,000. And let's go ahead and place that interest rate at 4.25. So in this product, you increased your purchase price as well as that interest rate. So now look at the graphs in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to have that fourth product side by side, and you'll be able to see that right here. So here's all your fees unless you needed to make any modifications for that product. You advanced your monthly cost screen. Again, no changes here. And now let's go ahead and look at our presentation that we have here. So if I click on preview, you always want to go ahead and place that quote date so you know when you have created that report, plus that's when that rates that you pulled were from that time period. Press preview. And here's the counteroffer analysis that you could provide the borrower as well as reaching out to a partner to show them how you can assist that borrower in accepting that proposal of a counteroffer. So let me go ahead, and I'm bringing up the share. I'm going to go ahead and place this link in the chat area. As we go through this report, if you click on that link, you'd be able to experience Edge Live, and as well as the highlighting, how you can reach out to the borrower. Once we go through this report, we'll then switch to the mobile, and I'll show you how you can keep this type of report within Edge, add a video, and be able to send it off. So you can use this same style report, and through the copy, keep copying it from, keep generating it, and be able to reach out to those partners. So it makes it quite easy for you to be able to have one report, copy it, just re-record a message. Now through the mobile, it's quite easy, and be able to send it out. So to look at this, you'll have your initial offer, and you can see how I'm highlighting. I'm taking my mouse, and you can see how when I place it over a field, you'll have a cell. If you left click, it will highlight that cell. Left click again, it removes that highlight. We also have the feature of highlighting a whole column by just clicking on the title. And again, if you unclick that title, it will remove the highlights. So you can click at all of them at once if you want, and you'll see at the very base the clear all button. It can go ahead and clear out your highlights for you. You can see it did it all at once for me. And this clear all will not only clear out the highlights on the front, but you see as you're doing highlights of certain fields, it will highlight in these more info area buttons as well. So that clear all button not only clears it out on the face, as well as inside each of those more info buttons. Also, when you're driving Edge Live, the highlighting will also clear off on the mobile, as well as mark it on the mobile too. So be able to use that. So to understand this report, you can see the initial offer, the weight, you can see has no graph. This is the highest cost graph. The counter offer, let's just see. It is, you can see the difference between the monthly payment saving, or the payment, they're saving a lot more, but with the higher loan amount. And then you can see the alternate offer, the same amount as the initial offer, but again, the higher interest rate, so not as much savings as that first product. So you have the payment area over here, how I'm highlighting. Using graphs, this is a quick way of being able to show the borrower the difference between these numbers without having actually to do those calculations. It's a quick way of just seeing that savings between the different payments. You also have the payment stream, so you can also always look in the payment stream. And I don't see my mortgage insurance. I'll have to go back and look at that. So you'll be able to see the payment stream on each of them, the P&I payment, as well as your MI. And then also in that more info button here, you do have that payment breakdown. So you do have a way, this is the sales price. You can open this up, be able to show the borrower, as well as the P&I payment plus those monthly costs. Also on the closing costs, you have the down payment figure, so just getting you familiar with the report where you can find all these details, because you have all the details in this presentation, all the details from an email that you would send or an Excel. So it's learning the presentation, and once you learn the presentation, it's very easy to reach out to the borrower with Edge Live. So you got the LTV as well, your lump sums of your fees, as well as your fee details. We also, you notice we have the APR column, prepaid escrow, as well as if you added the fee to loan amount and finance it in. We also have a reinvestment strategy. We're not covering that right now, but you do have a way to be able to apply that savings and put it toward principal, or be able to show a borrower how to pay off a loan in 15 years versus the 30 years, and be able to help them through that process. So now what I want to do is go ahead and turn on the mobile device so we can view this report through the mobile, as well as showing you how you could take this report and send it out to your realtor. So with the mobile device, let's turn it on. There we go. I'm using an iPad. And this is the same as with a iPad or as well as an Android device. You'll have the same home screen of Mortgage Coach Edge. If you have your mobile device right now and have not downloaded the mobile app, it's quite simple. Just go to your app store, and in the search engine, just search for Mortgage Coach. And when you do the search, you'll be able to not only get the Mortgage Coach app, you can get the Rate Watch app as well. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look on how that looks as soon as you do Mortgage Coach. And I also want to mention, if you have a link to the report, you click on it, it automatically takes you to the download. So your borrower would automatically be taken to the download if they were using a mobile device. So download the Mortgage Coach app here. Also, make sure you have that Rate Watch app. This same login and password as you use in Edge. So let's go ahead and go back to the Mortgage Coach app right here. You can see my icon as well for Rate Watch. And what I want to do is show you a couple ways of sharing that link. On the desktop, you'll notice in the lower right-hand corner, there's a share button. There we go. Let's bring that up. That share button contains the link to the report. This is a great way to be able to copy that link, place it in your email. If you had a question and you were emailing support, again, that's a quick way of grabbing that link to be able to put it in your email. So with that, I'm going to take that. If you have your Mortgage Coach app open, I'm going to read out this number here, and if you want, you can follow along with the report with me. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to remove this number here. This is the identifier of the report, but I'm actually going to remove this whole link ID, because when you're here, you only need to put in this number. So I want to make it a little bit easier for you. Just follow along. If you have a mobile device, I'll identify the number. So let's type in 16, T as in Tom, D as in dog, Q, and the letter P as in Patrick. And then I'm pressing the arrow here to access the report. Okay, go ahead and close that down. So now what we have is the mobile version of the report as well as the desktop open. So you can see how the borrower or the partner would have to click I understand for your disclosure, and they would have all your contact information here, your phone number, they could call you directly, or your mobile device, as well as your email. If you had a video, the video would be displaying in this upper right hand corner and would start playing as soon as they opened up the report. So you can see, if you go into the summary section here, let me drive it through with the report by doing some highlighting. It will go ahead and drive the report and open up. You can see how it just drove the mobile device as well as doing the highlights. So I wanted to be able to point that out. When you're doing driving the report, it will drive on either if they're looking on the desktop or if they're viewing it on the mobile. You still have that access either way. So now let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and press the back button here. And that takes me back to the report. If you're on an Android, you have that back button, and we'll go ahead and take you back. And then I'm swiping toward the right to go back to the home screen of the app. And again, if you're on Android, you have a back arrow. What we want to do now is to be able to go into this report and place a video on it on your mobile device. So before we do that, I want to go to Edge. I want to explain the home screen a little bit, and I want to explain how you can copy this report rather quickly so you don't have to reproduce it. So now let's go ahead and go back to Edge. Go to the home screen. You'll see I have my counteroffer analysis right here listed. If I click on View All, you can see you could do a search for a file. You can narrow it down by putting more information in. Or if you want to see all of it, just leave it empty and you can see all the different files here for you to choose from. We also have the filter up at the top. So I'm just going to say counter. And you can see my different files here. It's important you can see that I have multiple counter offers, that friendly name field is who you want to be able to use it for. So you can see on this one, I put in marketing when we were in that friendly name field, and it has the date and the time I've last accessed it. So with that, this is my generic report that I have on file, but you can also take it and copy it. So anytime you want to be able to take this report and you have a new partners to reach out to, make a copy of it. So highlight the report, press copy analysis. You want to go ahead and place it into a new client, and then press OK. You can see how you'll have all your products still. You see I have all my initial counter offer, but it's providing you a new contact screen name. So if you have a realtor, you could go ahead and put that information in. In this particular case, I'm keeping it the same title. I'm clicking on marketing, and I'm putting in my friendly name. I'm putting the name of my realtor. So I'm preparing this video for Jan Realtor. As soon as I advance my screen, it went ahead and saved this information that I just put in. So always remember, just want to point out that button when you go left or right, or just go to a different screen altogether, that's when your save occurs. So let me check my question area real quick. Okay, if you're getting, Mark's saying he's getting an error with the short link. Yeah, the reason for that is your system has a firewall, and it is blocking us from going to get that short link for you, and you're getting the long link instead. So email us at support. We'll be able to provide you the information for your IT to be able to open up that area so you can get that short link. So I hope that helped for you, Mark. Okay, so now that we have all this information, let's go back to the home screen and let's bring up the mobile device again so we can walk through this process so you know how to, now you know how to copy a product that you already have in your arsenal. And now let's go ahead and place a video on it. So in the silhouette in the upper right hand corner, if you do not see a silhouette, that means you have an old version and you need to go ahead and make sure you update your app. So click on the silhouette. You're going to come into your login. So put in the same login as you use for the Edge and sign in. This is the home screen of the Mortgage Coach app. Before we go into the clients area, I want to point out the silhouette in the upper right hand corner. Click on this. I want to show you that you'll have, this is where if you want to use your album to upload a generic video, this is how you would do that. So you would just turn it on and it will go ahead and be able to use your album to upload a video. It's good only to use a pre-recorded video as like follow-up. You always want to be fresh and new when you're first reaching out to your partner or for a borrower. So this, what people have used this for is as a follow-up after they receive the loan, the information. What they'll do is have a video and walk the borrower through the follow-up, the next steps of the loan items they need and what they would expect. So that would be a good generic video to be able to place on there after you've won that commitment. So now what we want to do is click on clients. But first, you'll see on the left-hand side it says number of reports. I've had 2 reports viewed today. And of those 2 reports, there were 6 views total. So that's how you'll be able to read this. Now, if you click on your clients, you can see all the different reports that you have created. So you'll notice on the left-hand side on the desktop, you can see how I have all these files that I last accessed listed here. You'll also see it on the mobile device. So pick a presentation from recent clients. So anytime you want to add a video, use Edge Live, this is where you want to choose from. The right-hand side here, and if you're also on a mobile phone, you might have only a single column because of the screen, so you might have 2 columns to go between. So pick presentation allows you to add video, allows you to use Edge Live. Pick a presentation from recent client views, want to point that out. That is, if I click on report tracking, that's what you'll be able to see here. So on my desktop, report tracking is that right-hand column. This tells me the last time someone viewed this report. So it gives you the date and time. And also, I would just want to point out on the desktop, it will go ahead and provide the number of views. And if you clicked on it, it will just show you the report. So a lot of people, anytime they say, I'm trying to edit my report and I'm only getting a presentation view, it's because you're on report tracking here. Notice I had 3 views. And just to be able to point out, if you went into the search all, in a report tracking, so if I click on this report, you can see how many times your report has been viewed and how long it has been viewed. So this is another area where you want to be able to go in and track that kind of information to be able to see how long your reports have been viewed and how often. So with that, let's go ahead and click on counter offer, the one we just created. This is the one we had copied for our Jan Realtor. We're going to go into the total cost analysis. And first, let's view the report just to give you an idea of what it will do. So if you click on view report, it will just bring up your presentation just as the borrower would be able to view it. So that's what that aspect will do. Let me go back into clients. So that's view report. It's just allowing you to review, pull it up, refresh yourself with what that presentation may be. Next, you want to go into video. So with that video, you see that I do have my album marked, so I do have the choice to go to an album and upload a pre-recorded message. Again, always put a fresh message on, use the camera, get personal. So with that, let's go ahead and click on camera. Hi everyone, I'm Lori. So with that, you can see you'll be able to use your iPhone, your iPad, and record your message directly from here. So with that, want to point out in the upper right-hand corner on my device, you'll see that camera. That just allows you to switch the view. So this also allows you to be able to, instead of taking it directly in front of you, you can see my monitor here. If you're in an open house, you'll be able to walk around, be able to see the area. We've seen other people take the video and just go ahead and walk through an open house with a selfie and have themselves walking with it. So there's a lot you could do with that video, providing that message to the realtor. So if you're reaching out to the realtor for the first time, you can introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your background, and explain what you could do for your the borrower, for their mutual client. So with the video, just keep it short. Make sure you have eye contact. But when you're out in the field, this is a great way to be able to update, add any kind of video, and not have to wait till you're back in the office for that desktop. So Brittany has a question. Yes, Brittany, you can use Edge Live from the iPad or any mobile device. And you do not need to be logged into the PC or the website to activate the, no, you do not have to. So that's what one of our new features is, to be able to be out in the field. If you got a call from a realtor or a borrower, you still be able to access the report and walk them through using Edge Live. So to do so, you just want to click on that live reporting. And if you have my link open, if you click on the link in the chat area, actually, this is a different link than I have in the chat because this is my new one. Let me grab this link. If you want to experience how Edge Live works, please click on this link, or if you have it typed in on your mobile device, you can follow along and you can experience that Edge Live through the mobile. So Brittany, if you do happen to have it, just click on that link. I'll drive the report with the mobile device and you can see how that process works. So what it had done is it brought up that mobile device, your report. You would go ahead and just use the report, go to the area you want to talk on, and all I'm doing is just tapping on the screen and highlighting those fields. So you can see with this how we can now actually use this for the highlighting. When you're talking, you can always come in here and decide to go ahead and modify a few items. It will update their report live, so the next time they go see it. But if you do have them on the phone, it'll work just the same. So let me go ahead and pull up the report. It's this one. Let's go ahead and preview it. And let me bring my mobile device. So Brittany, I just highlighted these fields on my mobile device, and you can see those exact fields are highlighted on my desktop. So I drove the report through the mobile device. So, you know, say if we highlighted a few more items, maybe the payment, you can see how I'll highlight, and it will go ahead and highlight shortly over here. So you do have the control. You do have now where you're out in the field, have no access to the desktop, you can drive the report from your mobile device. You can't make any data changes. You still have to log into Edge, but this is a good way to hold a conversation, write the notes if you need to show them any different kinds of down payments or make any modifications. You're back in the office. You can then update the report, and they don't have to download anything. They just go ahead and open up that link again and view your changes. So if you have any questions on that, Brittany, and want to explain that a little more, just let me know. But just to be able to show you just slightly more on Edge Live and how to reach your clients, let's get that link again. And what I'm going to do is set up, let's close out these other reports so I don't get confused. So let's go ahead and place in that link. And now what I'm going to do is, this is the borrower's copy here. So I'm pressing I understand for the disclosure. I'm going to go ahead and place this side by side. So if you were in the office and you were on your desktop, you'd be able to drive the report. And this is how I'm going to show you both how it will drive the mobile device as well as the desktop. So you'll see on my reports on the very right or left hand side, this is your copy. This is the loan officers. I went ahead and in Edge clicked on preview, or you could click on Edge Live. They're both the same. You just want to bring up a report, and you want to make sure you have the clear all button in the bottom center. That lets you know this is your working file to reach out to the borrower. Notice the one on the right has no clear all. So let's go ahead and clear out our highlights on our report, and you'll notice it cleared out the highlights. Let's go ahead and go into the summary. Hasn't updated yet, but this will clear out as well. So now as you're talking to the borrower, you can see how if I click on initial offer, how it highlights on the desktop version, and it will also go ahead and drive the mobile device. Let me just make sure I do have the right. Okay, I do. Okay. I want to make sure I had the right link in there. Okay, there we go. So you see how I highlighted the initial offer. It highlighted on the desktop if they were borrowers looking at it, or the mobile device. So say if I wanted to point out the different interest rates, you can see how it highlights as well as on the mobile device. So now let's talk about the payment breakdown. On the mobile device, you see at the very base the different tabs. Those are in your More Info button in the summary area. So when you click on the More Info button, you can see how I have the highlights here. My desktop version moved with me as well as my mobile. I'm down on payment breakdown. So you can also, just to show you, if you went ahead and highlighted that P&I payment, it highlighted on the desktop as well as on that mobile device. You could click the closing costs. It will go ahead and move to the closing cost tab, and it will drive as well as the mobile. So you'll be able to dive into, hold any conversations about the fees. You can see how I just drove it on the mobile device. I highlighted a fee. You can see how it will drop to that field. and move around. So this is a great, unique way for you to be able to reach out to that borrower and hold the conversation without the borrower trying to guess where you're at or trying to understand what you say. This is a very physical way that you can reach out to them and provide them that information. So both with the borrower and your partner. So this is a unique way for you to derive it with your partner as well, to show them how you can reach that borrower and how you could touch them in a different way than any other loan officers would be doing it. So pulling it back, we have about 10 minutes left. We're finished with the counter offer. If you have any questions on this particular topic, just report. Let me know. If there's anything specific that you want to see, also let me know. What I was planning to do is just dive into some of the areas on the report to provide you a little more understanding. So when you're doing the presenting it to the borrower or a partner, you know where all those different little fields are. The one area I do want to point out is the short-term savings, because we're getting closer to TRID. And if you look at the third page on the loan estimate, you can see how they have a lot of information in that tip area where they provide that percentage. To point out, you have that information in the short-term area. So with that, you could start getting comfortable with this conversation, as well as providing a presentation to the borrower prior to receiving that loan estimate. When they get that loan estimate, you've educated them in so many ways that they'll actually be able to look through that 3-page form and understand it a lot better. So you'll be proactive by being able to provide a presentation and dive into all these details. So let's talk about the savings over 60 months. So you can see I have a savings of $84.62 for my initial offer, and then the different savings for each product, and then no graph for the one that's the highest cost. It's a lot of confusion where people will take the $193, the monthly savings, multiply it by the number of months here, and anticipate that to be the number of your savings. And it's not. What we do is, this is your savings of unrecoverable costs. If you click on the more info, you can see you have interest and mortgage insurance. So we go ahead and calculate that amount for the 60-month period. We then add in our closing costs. That provides you the total cost of your unrecoverable costs. So this is interest, mortgage insurance, your fees. There is these are unrecoverable costs that they're not getting back. That's what we do our comparison with. Yes, Toy, these Thursday webinars are on our website, and it's definitely, we do record these so you can slow down and be able to go at your own pace. So definitely so. I'll show you shortly how you can find those. So back to the short-term savings, we have a total of interest and MI closing points for our total cost of the loan. That's what we compare, and that's what that savings amount is again. Compares against. You'll notice on the loan estimate, they will have that 60-month mark for a line item of interest, MI, as well as the closing costs. So again, this is going to get you a little more conversational with that form and presenting that to the borrower. So that's the short-term area. Just want to point out in the interest in MI, there's a lot of details. You have your home value. In the analysis screen, you have a property appreciation rate. If you use that, that's where the home value will appreciate each year by that percentage. It's also great that you'll notice that we have the loan balance. So at the end of the 15-year period, you can point out how much they still owe on that home. So to point out that long-term area, we also could show net worth. So if you're using that reinvestment screen, it's good to be able to have that net worth here. We also show an option of principal paid as well. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and do some cleanup. I'm going to go ahead and show you where you can access these recorded calls. So as I'm doing our follow-up and our closing, if you have any questions on any topic, fees, whatever it may be, put it in the question area, and I can address it after that. So Want to point out, click on the help button. You'll get so much information when you click on the help button. It takes you to our knowledge base, and this is the home screen of the knowledge base. You can see in the quick reference links, you have the access to this month's event calendar, and toward the left of that, you have access our coaching call archive. This is where our calls are recorded, Toy. So if you go ahead and click on that, you can see our past July calls. We covered MI, cash versus mortgage investment. Last week I covered the open house flyer and the mobile app, and I really went into details on that mobile app further. So this is a good view if you wanted to see that. And then we also have our Tuesday coaching calls that are listed here and any special webinars that we may have. So want to point that out so you'll be able to get that. Also, the event calendar. I want to point out that we did add a new training class. So first off, this is our August calendar, so you can be able to see all our different coaching calls, who's going to be on them. Intro Friday, this goes a little bit slower, identifies the different fields, but I want to point out we always hold them on Friday. This is our last Friday, and we're changing it starting the month of August to Monday. So Monday at 9 a.m., just need to attend it once. It's just an intro class, gives you a better grounding of edge. We've started a new class on Wednesday. This is Mortgage Coach Mobile, creating the mobile mentality. This is great. We dive into that mobile experience more. Not only cover the Mortgage Coach app as well as the Rate Watch. So this is, if you haven't started using Edge Live, this is a great way to really start jumping on these calls and really understanding that mobile experience. You got the Thursday trainings, and lastly, I want to point out the Mortgage Coach University. You could click on here to sign up, but I just want to point out the very last link will take you to the topic. So this way you could sign up for the classes, and when you are available during this time, go ahead and join the call. But if there's a particular topic, make sure you join that specific day. But it also shows you all the different things that you can do in Edge. So if you're not quite sure of different scenarios or different items that you can do in Edge, take a glance at this at our Mortgage Coach University, because it gives you a lot of options of what you can do. I want to point out the next area here, we have playlists and scripts. If you click on the scripts right here, a lot of scripts that you'll be able to use, placing your link within it, be able to send out, and different sales calls as well. We have walkthrough videos, how to create reports from scratch. You have that. But the best thing is this search engine, especially if it's on after hours. This is a great way to be able to find the answer to your question. So say you had a question on MI. If you press return, you can see how it will list any type of video asset or a frequently asked question surrounding MI. Reinvestment. Same type of thing. So you can see how you can really use this search engine to narrow down your question and be able to find it here. Always email us at support@Mortgage Coach, but this is search engine, does help you be able to move on, especially on after hours. So let's see. Okay, just a moment, Mark. Okay, Mark is having a question on the highlighting, and is able to do these single highlights, but how do you highlight the whole column? And I believe that's what you're asking, Mark. What you do is if you click on the title itself, it will highlight that whole column. You click on that title again, it removes it. So that's a quick way of doing the product itself and highlighting a column. Always remember that clear all button will clear out the highlights on all your report. Also on the graphs, you'll notice that I did have a yellow graph. You can also balance the color on the graph as well, so if you're talking about that particular section. And let me just check one thing. I believe, Mark, you can only do that column highlighting. I believe it's Oh, I'm not in there. I'm checking on my mobile to see if you're able to do that same column highlighting on the mobile device too. So let's just one moment. I'm getting there, and I'll turn on my. Okay, so let's go into summary. Yes. So Mark, same thing. So on the mobile device, you could go ahead and click on the title, or on the desktop. So both, just to be able to point out. So both of those work. Pull it down. So if I click on alternate, it will go ahead and highlight my column. Whoops, I hit it twice. So you can see how it does it really quick, just as the desktop. So hope that answered your question. If anyone else has any other questions I can answer for you, go ahead and place it in the question area. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up this call. So if there's any other questions, let me go ahead and go put it on the other items I need to. Okay. So with that, oh, you're welcome, Mark. Okay, with that, I will be putting on mute, but if you have any questions, I'll stay around for just a few minutes, and then we'll go ahead and close out this call. Thank you, everyone, for joining this call. If you create this report and you want us to review it to be able to look at it and provide feedback, please email us at support@mortgagecoach.com, and we'll go ahead and review that report and provide our suggestions. Get an edge, create those 5 reports. You'll notice how much easier it will be for your 6th and 7th report, and pretty soon you won't even think about it. So get in there and learn edge and have some fun. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day. Louise, you're asking if there is a function that tracks different property a client has visited to compare analysis. I don't know. We don't have something like that. What it will do is, what we track is not so much track is the open and close of the report. Due to privacy, we don't take any IP address or anything. But basically what this will do, let me go into Edge real quick. Let me close out these. When you're in a report, you always want this notify me when report is viewed mark. What that will do is provide you an email alert, and that email alert will be emailed to you, and you can see that someone just closed out a report. It will show you how long the report was viewed and such. So if you have that mark, you get the email alert. If you go into view history down at the base here, this will provide you a change log. This tells you how many times you went into the file, made a change. If I click on read receipt, you can see that I've had this file open that many times. So it doesn't really tell specifics or track anything like that, but just let you know if it's been viewed. Okay, great. Any other questions? Please let me know.